వెంకటేశ్వరరావు కాలేజ్ ఆఫ్ ఇంజనీరింగ్ అండ్ టెక్నాలజీ 2008 లో స్థాపించిన కళాశాలలో MBA, NAC A గ్రేడ్ మరియు ISO సర్టిఫికేషన్ సాధించిన మొట్టమొదటి కళాశాల శ్రీ ముత్తవరపు వెంకటేశ్వరరావు కాలేజ్ ఆఫ్ ఇంజనీరింగ్ అండ్ టెక్నాలజీ త్వరలో అటానమస్ కాబోతోంది.
2014లో ISO గుర్తింపు, 2015లో రాష్ట్ర ప్రభుత్వంచే A గ్రేడ్, 2016లో NAC A గ్రేడ్, ఇప్పుడు NBA సాధించిన సంస్థ శ్రీ ముత్తవరపు వెంకటేశ్వరరావు కాలేజ్ ఆఫ్ ఇంజనీరింగ్ అండ్ టెక్నాలజీ.
MSET, ISET, ESET code MVRS. వివరాలకు కాల్ 8464887777.
Good morning, students. Good morning, students. In the last class, so we have discussed about the active filters using operational amplifier. So in that, so we have discussed about the low pass filter, high pass filter, that is passive low pass filter and passive high pass filter, and their frequency responses. So we have observed the frequency responses and their transfer function, that is nothing but the gain. And also we have cascaded two low pass circuits, so which can be called as a second order low pass filter. And if we cascade number of low pass circuits, then it can be called as higher order low pass filter. as well as in the high pass also same thing we have done, and we have discussed about high pass filter, first order, second order, and as well as the response of the high pass filter, band pass filter. So how the band pass filter can be implemented, band stop filter, how the band stop filter can be implemented according to the response of filter. How many types of filters are there? There are three types: Butterworth, Chebyshev, and Bessel filter. So, and coming to our topic, that is active filter topic. So there we have discussed about the damping factor, and then we are going to implement the low pass RC circuit with an active element, that is nothing but operational amplifier. So we have given the low pass RC circuit to the input of op amp. Here the op amp is going to act as non-inverting amplifier, and we have observed the response of different order filters. So as we have observed that as the order, that is as the number of poles is going to increase, then the attenuation of the signal is going to increase. So here in this curve you can observe that attenuation for first only one pole, for single pole, that is a first order filter, the attenuation is around minus 20 dB per decade. For second order filter it will be doubled, that is minus 40 dB per decade, and the third order it will be minus 60 dB per decade. And if we increase further, then for every pole it is going to increase minus 20 dB per decade. So like this the attenuation has been increased. That means we are obtaining the filter response which is similar to the ideal response of the ideal frequency response of the filter. So that is also called as roll-off rate. We have discussed about active low-pass filter and active high-pass filter. Active high-pass filter and analysis of active high-pass filter. How the gain can be calculated, we have observed. And finally, here you can see the gain is going to depend upon the open loop gain, that is nothing but the gain of non-inverting amplifier, and alpha and omega naught, where omega naught is going to depend upon the RC components which we are introducing there, and alpha is nothing but the damping factor, so which is 3 minus A naught, and we have obtained the value of damping factor here. So that is 3 minus A naught. So in the place of A naught, A naught is nothing but the gain of non-inverting amplifier. So if you solve this, we are going to get alpha is equal to 2 minus R1 by R2. So these are the three cascaded stages of two-pole high-pass RC circuits. Three cascaded stages of two-pole high-pass RC circuits. So the first one is having the two poles, and the second one is having two poles. This is one pole and this is another pole, So second one is similar as the first one, and third one is similar as first one. So these three are similar circuits which is having two poles. Then by cascading these three stages, we are getting the pole cascaded high pass filter. So the roll off rate will be around, so this introduces 40 dB, this introduces 40 dB, and this introduces 40 dB. So totally 40 plus 40 plus 40, that is 120 dB. That is 120 dB per decade. Now we are going to see the response of active low pass filter. Here you can see we have given the input to the non-inverting terminal of op-amp, in which here the operational amplifier acting as a voltage follower, because the output is directly fed back to the inverting input of an op-amp. So it follows the input signal, output follows the input signal, that is nothing but the signal obtained at this node. At this node, whatever the signal obtained at this node will be passed to the output, that is output is equal to input here. So from this RC circuit, we can write the resistance is equal to the reactance of the capacitor, that is R is equal to XC. Then we can write XC as 1 by omega C, and in place of omega we can write omega C, we can write a 2 pi FC. So this is the critical frequency. FC is the critical frequency. So if you bring this FC to left hand side and R to the right hand side, so then we are going to get the frequency, critical frequency, which is equal to 1 divided by 2 pi RC. That means this critical frequency is going to depend upon 2 pi and RC. So this is what we have discussed, the critical frequency. This will be decided by 1 by 2 pi RC. So in this circuit, you can see there is a slight modification when compared with the previous slide circuit. So that modification is nothing but, so here the op amp is going to act as a unity gain follower or voltage follower, whereas here we have given inverting input through a feedback resistor and a series resistor. So this this proves that op amp is going to have a positive op amp is going to have a feedback through R1. So here the op amp is again going to act as a non-inverting amplifier, but the feedback is provided. Here it is not a voltage follower, the feedback is provided, and this gives us the gain of this op amp circuit. So without considering this RC circuit, the gain of this op amp circuit, which will be given by ACL is equal to 1 plus R1 by R2. So this is nothing but the gain of non-inverting amplifier, as we have discussed in our third chapter, non-inverting amplifier. So this is the gain of non-inverting amplifier. There we have considered R1 as RF, and in the place of R2 there will be R1. So whatever it may be, so this factor is nothing but ACL is equal to 1 plus the feedback resistor divided by the series resistor. So that is what the equation. If you put anything here, R1, R2 or anything, so then ACL is given by 1 plus R1 divided by R2. If here it is R1, R1 divided by R2. If here it is RF, then RF divided by R2, like that. So then here again the FC, the critical frequency is going to depend upon 1 by 2 pi RC. So this RC circuit. So the FC, the critical frequency is going to depend upon 1 by 2 pi RC. So this is the critical frequency you can observe in this graph. So as we know that the low pass filter is going to allow only the low frequency signals, that is the signals below the cutoff frequency will be allowed by the low pass filter, whereas the signals above the critical frequency will not be allowed by the low pass filter. So next, active low pass filter second order, which is nothing but we are going to consider two poles. We are going to consider the two poles. So which one pole is introduced by RA and CA, and the next pole, another pole is introduced by RB and CB. In which one pole is introduced by RA and CA, another pole is introduced by RB and CB. So this is the two pole low pass circuit. So in which this will be given to a non-inverting amplifier. So this is going to act as a non-inverting amplifier. Then our critical frequency is going to depend upon Fc is equal to 1 by 2 pi root of Ra into Rb plus, sorry, Ra into Rb into, that is nothing but Ca into Cb, the product of all the components. So root of, so let us consider, so Ra, if Ra is equal to Rb is equal to R, then and Ca is equal to Cb is equal to C, then what happens? So in the place of Ra, we are going to replace it with R. So this becomes R square and this becomes C square. So R square, C square, that is nothing but RC whole square, we can write it as. Then square and the root will be cancelled. Then the equation will be equal to the critical frequency, which is given by 1 by 2 pi RC. So again, here the critical frequency, which is decided by 1 by 2 pi RC. So by introducing this second pole, what happens and what happens to the gain, we are going to observe now. So this is the circuit what we have discussed. So R. So we are going to replace RA and RB with the similar components, that is R and C. So then the transfer function which is given by here, the transfer function, that is nothing but V naught by Vi. The transfer function is nothing but V naught by Vi, which is given by the A naught. A naught is nothing but the gain of the non-inverting amplifier. As here the op-amp is going to act as a non-inverting amplifier, A naught into omega naught square divided by S square plus alpha into omega naught S plus omega naught square. So whereas alpha is a damping factor, as we know that the alpha is a damping factor, which will be given by alpha is equal to 2 minus R1 divided by R2. So as omega naught is nothing but the cutoff frequency, that is critical frequency, which will be given by 1 by CR. So H of S is equal to A naught into omega naught square divided by S square plus alpha omega naught into S plus omega naught square. So this is what you have observed. Next, the 3 dB frequency omega C is related to omega naught by a factor. So that cutoff frequency, that is the critical frequency, which is related to the omega naught, that is nothing but the applied frequency. Omega naught is nothing but applied frequency, that is the frequency of the applied signal by a factor known as frequency correction factor, that is frequency correction factor, that is KLP. Thus the omega C is given by KLP into omega naught, so which is equal to KLP by RC. As we have written that omega C is equal to 1 by RC, so we can write it as KLP by RC. So this is the table which is going to show the different responses and different values of damping factor and KLP. So if we consider a low pass filter which is a Bessel response, then the alpha will be 1.732 and the KLP will be 0.785. Butterworth filter, if it is a Butterworth filter, the alpha will be 1.414 and that is the damping factor will be 1.414 and the frequency correction factor will be 1. And if you consider Chebyshev of 1 dB, then it will be 1.054, and that is the damping factor will be 1.054, and the frequency correction factor will be 1.238. We consider Chebyshev of second 2 dB, it will be that damping factor will be 0.886, and the frequency correction factor will be 1.33. And if it is 3 dB, damping factor will be 0.766, and this will be that correction factor will be 1.399. So let us solve a problem. So here in the problem, he has given design a Bessel second order low pass filter with a 3 dB frequency of 5 kilohertz. So here what will be the parameters given? What is the parameters given here? Design a Bessel second order low pass filter with a 3 dB frequency. That is 3 dB frequency is given. That is critical frequency is given, and the value of the capacitor is given. So the capacitor value is 22 nanofarads. This is 22 nanofarads, and we have to design a second order low pass filter. Design means with the help of the given values, we have to find the remaining values. So what is given here? C value is given, and the frequency, that is the critical frequency, has been given, and we have to find what we have to find means we have to find the R value, we have to find R1 value, and we have to find R2 value. So this is our problem. And then coming to the solution, so as we know that the critical frequency, which is equal to KLP into omega naught, that is KLP by RC. So we can write here with the help of this formula. So we can calculate the R value, that is R is equal to KLP by omega C into C. So from the table, so as we have discussed it from the table, here Bessel second order low pass filter. So for Bessel second order low pass filter, so the KLP will be 0.785. So the KLP will be 0.785. So KLP is equal to 0.785. Hence R is equal to 0.785 divided by 2 pi into, so the critical frequency, as he is given the critical frequency, that is Fc is equal to 5 kilohertz. So we are going to substitute that here, and 2 pi into Fc into, that is the capacitance value, that is the capacitance value is 22 nanofarads, that is 22 into 22 into 10 power minus 9. If we solve this, we are going to get the R value, that is R is equal to 1.136, that is R is equal to 1.136 kilo ohms. And in order to, so we have find the R value, then whatever the values remaining, that is we have to find the value of R1 and R2. So we have to, in order to minimize the offset error, that is the op-amp is having offset errors. So we, in order to minimize, we have to meet the following condition, that is R1 in parallel of R2 is equal to 2R. R1 in parallel of R2 is equal to 2R. So that is this can be written as, that is R1 into R2 divided by R1 plus R2 is equal to 2R. So which is equal to 2.27 kilo ohms. So we have obtained, so we know that R value, that is 1.136 kilo ohms. So 2 into R, that will become 2.27 kilo ohms. So R1 into R2, R1 plus R2. And we know that the damping factor alpha is equal to 2 minus R1 by R2. So from the table, we can write alpha value as 1.732. So 1.732 is equal to 2 minus R1 by R2. We can write 1.732 is equal to 2 minus R1 by R2. So R1 by R2 is equal to 2 minus alpha. Then R1 by R2 factor will be given. So from this equation, we can write R1 is equal to 0.268 R2. So as we know that from here, as we know that R1 into R2 by R1 plus R2 is equal to 2.27 kilo ohms. So from this equation, we can write as R1 is equal to 0.268 R2. So in the place of R1, we are going to write this value. So if you write that value, and we are going to write all the terms in all the R values in terms of R2. So if we solve this, we are going to get a 2.27 kilo ohms. So if we solve this, we are going to get R2 value, that is 10.74 kilo ohms. 10.74 kilo ohms. Then if you are going to substitute this value in the place of R1 by R2, so we can get as we know that R1 by R2 is equal to 0.268. So we have find the R1 value as 10.74 kilo ohms. Then we can write R1 is equal to 0.268 into R2, that is 10.74, which we are going to get the value 2.88 kilo ohms. So this is how we have designed the second order low pass filter, a Bessel second order low pass filter. And then after design, keep in mind, after design, we have to place every value in the diagram. Then only the problem will be completed. You have to keep this in mind, because when a design problem is asked in any subject, whatever it may be, so you have to place the values in the circuit, and you have to redraw the circuit. If possible, you have to redraw the circuit also. So this is how we have find the values of we have find the values with the help of given values. So the frequency response curve will be FC. So FC has given, we know that FC, he has given FC is equal to 5 kilohertz, the critical frequency. So at 5 kilohertz, at 5 kilohertz, there will be FC, that is critical frequency, and the response will be like this. So if you observe practically the response will be like this for this second order Bessel low pass filter. So determine the critical frequency. Next example is determine the critical frequency. He has asked that we have to determine the critical frequency given all the values here. So and set the R1 value for Butterworth response. So here we have to set the R1 value as it is going to produce the Butterworth response. So here you can see RA and RB are having the same values, that is 1.0 kilo ohms. So that is 1 kilo ohms, and capacitance value is 0.022 microfarads, which is nothing but 22 nanofarads. And R2 is given as 1 kilo ohm. R2 is also given as 1 kilo ohm. So we have to find the critical value. So for finding the critical value, we are having a formula that is 1 by 2 pi RC. So FC is equal to 1 by 2 pi RC, as RC values has been given. So we will substitute those values, and we are going to find the value of frequency, that is 7.23 kilohertz. 7.23 kilohertz. So for Butterworth response, the value of R1 by R2 will be 0.586. The value of R1 by R2 will be 0.586. For Butterworth response, R1 by R2 will be 586. So we can write R1 is equal to 0.586 into R2. Then we will get the value of R1, which is equal to 586 kilo ohms. So this is how we have obtained, we have solved the problem. And then active low pass filters. So cascaded low pass filters, which is a 3-pole. So here you can see how to obtain 3, that is third order filter, nothing but third order filter or 3-pole low pass filter. So here we are going to cascade a single pole low pass filter and 2-pole low pass filter. So this is a 2-pole low pass filter which is having 2 poles, that is second order filter, nothing but this is second order filter or 2-pole low pass filter. So which is having RA1 and CA1 is going to provide first pole, and RB1 and CB1 is going to provide the second pole, and this is cascaded with uh, another low pass filter, so which is having the third pole, that is RA2 and CA2, RA2 and CA2. So with this we can obtain a roll-off rate of, so this is going to produce minus 40 dB per decade, and as we know that this is going to produce a minus 20 dB per decade. As these two circuits are cascaded, so we can say that the roll-off rate will be minus 60 dB per decade. So if we cascade, if we want to build a fourth order low pass filter or 4-pole low pass filter, then we are going to cascade the 2-pole low pass filter circuits. So here you can see this is a 2-pole low pass filter circuit, and this is also a 2-pole low pass filter circuits which are cascaded. The output of the first low pass will be given to the input of the second low pass. Then the roll-off rate with this filter is around, this is going to produce minus 40 dB, and this is going to produce minus 40 dB, so which is minus 80 dB per decade, minus 80 dB per decade. And coming to solve example for this, so what he has given, so determine the capacitance values required. So we have to determine the capacitance values required to produce a critical frequency. He has given the critical frequency, that is 2680 hertz. 2680 hertz. He has given the critical frequency, that is FC has given. And if all resistors in RC low pass circuit is 1.8 kilo ohms. So he has given the resistance values, that is 1.8 kilo ohms. All the resistance values as 1.8 kilo ohms. So as we know that the formula for FC is equal to 1 by 2 pi RC. So we have to find the value of C, as he has given the R value. So then by substituting the R value, so we are going to find the value of C. So if we substitute the FC value and R value here, so we can find the value of the capacitance value, that is 0.033 microfarads. So as all the capacitance values are equal, that is CA1, CB1, CA2 and CB2, which are equal, that is 0.33 microfarads. Next, active low pass filter, Chelenky. The slope of a filter is associated with its order. So as you know that the slope of filter, according to the slope of filter, it is associated with its order. So what we have observed in case of first order, so what is the difference we have observed in first order, second order, third order and fourth order? The difference is nothing but in pass band we have not observed any difference. In stop band we have observed the difference, that is the roll off. The roll off is going to increase, that is minus 20 dB to minus 40 dB. As number of poles we are going to increase, the roll off rate is also going to increase. So as we are going for higher order filter, so the steeper will be the slope. The slope increases by 20 dB for each order. Thus, for first order it will be 20 dB, and second order it will be 40 dB, and third order it will be 60 dB. Fourth order it will be 80 dB. And if you are going to increase further, so according to the poles which we have introduced, each pole is going to introduce a 20 dB attenuation. Active low pass filter. Active filters can be cascaded to increase its order, as we have observed by cascading. Example, cascading second order and first order filter to produce a third order. If we cascade a second order and second order, then we are going to produce a fourth order. If we are cascading these two fourth order filters, then we are going to obtain eight order filter. So like that. So if we cascade number of filters, then the number of poles will be increased. That increases the roll-off rate of the filter. So here you can observe that increases the roll-off rate of the filter. So active band pass filter. So up to now we have discussed about the high pass filter, the low pass filter, active low pass filter and active high pass filter and their responses, and we have solved some problems. And now we are going to discuss about the band pass filter. Here you can observe what we are going to use for obtaining a band pass filter. So observe this circuit. So here we are giving input to the in the first op amp circuit. So we can observe that here we are having two RC circuits in the first op amp circuit. So as two RC circuits, we can say that this is a second order filter. So, and we have to observe that for which we are going to give the input and from which we are going to take the output. So we are giving input to the capacitor and we are going to take the output across a resistor. Then it is said to be a high pass filter. That is a two-pole high pass two poles sorry two-pole high pass filter. And then if you observe the second second op amp circuit, so which we are giving input to a resistor and output is going to take across a capacitor, and here also it is having the two poles. So input is given to through a resistor and output is going to take through a capacitor. Then it is a two-pole low pass filter. So if we cascade a high pass filter and a low pass filter, then we can be able to build a band pass filter. Then we can be able to build a band pass filter. So band pass filter can be formed by the two filters which we have discussed up to now. That is nothing but high pass filter and a low pass filter. If we put a high pass filter at the input stage and if we take output across a low pass filter, then it will be going to act as a band pass filter. So this will be the response of this band pass filter. So as we know that first we have what we have placed first, we have placed the high pass filter. So here you can see the blue line which describes the response of high pass filter, which is having a cutoff frequency of FC1, which is having a cutoff frequency of FC1, and which will be decided, this critical frequency FC1 will be decided by the formula, that is 1 divided by 2 pi RA1, RB1, CA1, CB1. That is a high pass circuit values. And this blue line you can see, this is the stop band and this is the pass band. So from this frequency beyond, that is below FC1, it is not going to allow any signals, and above FC1 it is going to allow the signals to pass through it. And then after that we are going to give the output of this high pass filter to a low pass filter, so which is having a critical frequency of FC2, and this FC2 is decided by 1 by 2 pi root of RA2, RB2, CA2, CB2. So by adjusting the values of this RA and this R values and C values, so we can adjust the value of this FC2. We know that we can adjust the value of this FC2. So we are going to select the values of R and C such that the FC1, so the FC2 must be greater than FC1. So we have to keep this in mind, that is FC2 is greater than FC1. So then it is easy to obtain a band pass filter response. If we draw a response curve for this low pass filter, so this pink line describes the response of low pass filter. So here you can see if we combine these two, so this will be the shaded portion. The shaded portion which we have obtained is nothing but the response of band pass filter. And so here the both the filters are second order, then the attenuation rate will be minus 40 dB per decade. Here also you can observe the low pass filter response, which is minus 40 dB per decade, and this is also high pass filter is also having the minus 40 dB per decade. That means these two signals will allow the frequencies which is between FC1 and FC2, and it is having the maximum gain at F0. So here you can observe the maximum gain will be obtained at F0. So F0 is given by root of FC1 into FC2. F0 is given by the root of FC1 into FC2. So this is how we are going to obtain a band pass filter. This is how we are going to obtain a band pass filter. So active band pass filters, multiple feedback band pass filter. The low pass filter circuit consisting of R1 and C1. And high pass RC circuit consists of R2 and C2. The feedback paths are through C1 and R2. The feedback paths are through C1 and R2. So here you can see this is active band pass filter. This is nothing but here with the help of inverting input we are going to obtain a band pass filter. We can obtain a band pass filter in the previous session what we have discussed, or we can also obtain a band pass filter with this circuit also. As R and C, this is going to act as a low pass filter, R1 and C1, and R2 and C2, which is going to act as a high pass filter. A low pass filter response is given to a high pass filter response, then it is going to act as a band pass filter. The center frequency, which is given by F0 is equal to 1 by 2 pi root of R1 in parallel with R3, R1 in parallel with R3 into R2 into C1 into C2. Multiple feedback band pass filter. So this is nothing but multiple feedback band pass filter. So why we have considered this as multiple feedback means the one feedback will be provided with the help of C1 and another feedback will be provided with this R2. So for C1 into C2 is equal to C, the resistor values can be obtained using the following formulas. So R1 is equal to Q is the quality factor. So Q divided by 2 pi F0 into C into A0. So A0 is the gain of inverting amplifier. Here as we are using op amp as an inverting amplifier. So R2 is equal to Q by pi FC into R0, pi F0 into C, and R3 will be given by Q by 2 pi F0 into C, 2Q square minus A0. The maximum gain will be occurred at the center frequency. So with this, we'll complete the today's class, and we are going to discuss the next topics in the tomorrow's class. Thank you, students.